Well, I just learned a new word.
Welcome to Tom Rhodes Smart Camp with my bestie Ashna.
Bestie in the house. Represent.
Should we say you? Because sometimes you use the word conversate, and I thought, oh, that's a good word, and then I looked it up, and it's actually not a word.
Yeah, Tom just gave me a...
You would say converse. And not...
Tom just gave me a teacher red mark
no,
on my homework because...
You were so convincing. I've been using it myself, so...
So, okay, let's start over. It's about the word. What is the word?
Converse.
Converse.
Let's converse.
Let's converse.
Let's converse for an episode of Tom Rhodes Smart Camp.
And I used to say... Oh, well, let's conversate.
Yeah.
Is that how I said it? Yeah.
Sometimes
okay, now
like
it does sound weird.
Yeah. So, like, you never want me to look bad. I never want you to look bad.
How could I look bad? I'm a woman. I'm just kidding.
You're Ashna Rojan. You're amazing.
I was watching this movie with Nicole Kidman. It was a cheesy movie. What's it called? The Perfect Couple. And there was a French lady there. She was actually the lady from Braveheart.
Okay.
Yeah, that French lady. And she said, so it's a whodunit story. Mm-hmm. And she was brought to the police investigation room where they have those conversations.
Interrogation.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Again, red mark. Interrogation. and then it was funny because they said, well, you know how they talk. Well, you murdered him because of the money. And then she said, oh, come on. Money and sex I get for free. I'm a woman.
Nicole Kidman said that in the movie?
No. That's French lady from Braveheart.
I see. That's funny.
The actress. Isabella Gianni, I think it's her name. But it's funny because it's funny, right? It's like, I don't have to murder for sex or money. I get that for free because I'm...
That's hilarious.
It's so hilarious.
I've seen like different women post on Instagram. Oh, and I like that you deleted Instagram from your phone.
I did.
I know, that's awesome.
Like maybe 3 months now.
Like your mental health is probably so much better.
So much.
But like all these women have posted these videos that like, men, we could get any man we want and you're not the prize, we're the prize. Like I keep seeing this same kind of selfish post of like, who needs
You too? You see that?
I've seen a few different women post videos like that. And it's like, who needs to know that?
Right. Well, I
mean, if that's how you're playing your cards, like, keep your cards close to your chest.
Yeah, why say it? Why say it? Yeah.
Let us suckers think we know differently.
Yeah. It might have to do something with getting back to the equilibrium, the balance of...
Good word.
Okay, wait.
I love that word. Equilibrium is a great word.
Okay, cool. So are we going to list great words being taught?
No, I like this.
The audacity.
This is how we conversate.
Well, very dandy.
We're always impressing each other with language.
Okay, let's do this podcast. It will be funny.
I like it. We'll say we're not conversating. We're conversing. I don't know, something stupid like that.
No, we should keep having new words.
Every episode. I like that.
No, right now. Like this whole conversation.
Oh, okay.
Come on, let's use the most difficult words we ever learned.
Okay. Somnambulist.
What's that?
Somebody who doesn't sleep well, I think. I'll have to look that up.
What is it? What's it?
Somnambulist.
Oh, somnambulist. I have been a somnambulist last night.
We're going to have to look that up. My phone is recording this, so...
I have another one.
But
I got it from you.
What is it?
Curmudgeon.
Curmudgeon. Yeah, an old person.
No, it's like a
grumpy old person.
A chagrin person, right?
Chagrin?
Chagrin. Okay, I hope that's an English word.
She's out of control with these words. That's great. Stop her. Put the metaphor down and back away. It's funny you bring up this old movie that you saw because I just had such a lovely week in Las Vegas at Brad Garrett's at the MGM. The other two comedians I was working with, Daniel Yukas was the MC, and then Darren Rose from Toronto was the feature act. And it was like comedy was the first 20 years for me. I loved these guys. They were funny. Their jokes were great. We watched each other's sets every night, and then we hung out during the day.
Like all friendly and kind.
Yeah, like you're working together, and why not? Now there's always, just comedians don't hang out like they used to when you're working.
They go
together.
home? Is that what you mean?
Or they got other shit going on. I don't know. But
everybody's on their phone.
Everyone's on their phone, young people posting shit. But this really felt like an old school week. Loved these guys, and we were talking and hanging out. And so one day we're having, oh my God. And because I was so obsessed with hot yoga the last 2 years, when I would go to Vegas, they give you like an employee card. And you can eat in the employees' cafeteria. And, I never wanted, I thought the food wasn't as great or as healthy as going to the Whole Foods salad bar.
Gosh, I used to love that.
That's like been the game changer, especially when you and I were traveling.
Yeah, I used to love that.
We'd go to
going
a town,
to the,
and hit the salad bars better than getting McDonald's or some shit.
Right, but I used to love that in Las Vegas that they give you an employee pass, and then we would go downstairs and you would see all these funny artists, dancers or waitresses in nice.
There were people in the shows, and we went on the Saturday. We had free tickets to the Cirque du Soleil show Ka, which is at the MGM.
Very cool.
And then we went to eat afterwards. Yeah. And then there was like you're saying, the people from the show with makeup on in their costumes were down there eating.
It's cool because then you feel like you're part of the beating heart. Las Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, and the MGM is such a cool place. But I can't believe I haven't used that card in a couple of years because I was like,
because Ashna wasn't there, otherwise you would have
and saving money but I don't know, just being obsessed with trying to get skinny, I didn't use it. But anyway, this past week was amazing there.
The food, you mean?
One day there was like not the food, but one day there was like karaoke, and like the employees were down there singing. A lot of Mexican women were singing, at the
cafeteria?
Under the ground in the employees' cafeteria.
Oh my God, genius. They're entertaining the entertainers.
And then the next day, there was like a graduation for the maids.
Aww.
And it was like a little ceremony, and they gave them little certificates, like women who had trained.
Oh my God.
And for some of these, women who were, look like immigrants or young immigrant women, they were like, the look on their face looked like they were graduating from Harvard or something,
Yeah.
And then there was even a September 11th memorial on September 11th, and they had hired some. I think he was a mariachi Mexican guy. He was singing like Mexican love songs to recorded music.
Nice.
I don't know what that had to do with September 11th, but it was like some kind of memorial.
Nice.
So it was really interesting. But one day having lunch with these guys, we were talking about Western movies, and they had never seen Tombstone or...
With Val Kilmer?
Yeah, or The Outlaw Josie Wales.
I haven't seen that one either.
I think you have, with Clint Eastwood. That's like...
Old
movies, from, I don't know, 1978 or 79. Before he started making the movies with the orangutans. Clint Eastwood. He did that, right? He made like 3 movies they were called Every Which Way But Loose.
No,
yeah.
What?
Yeah. He, because Ronald Reagan made a movie with a monkey. And so it's funny that Clint Eastwood made 3 movies with an orangutan.
Interesting.
So anyway, we're talking about these movies. So 2 nights ago, when I got home, I watched Tombstone again. I hadn't seen it in a long time.
Uh-huh.
And, oh my God, Val Kilmer is just, what a brilliant performance.
Wait, that's what you wanted to say, that you went home and watched Tombstone? Yeah. Oh my God, that was a long way.
Well, you talked about some Nicole, I know, it was a long way.
Jeez, talking about driving on the mountain.
I wish I knew a big word to describe what I just did.
Yeah, I have one. A cascade of BS. No, I'm just talking.
That's good.
That's good?
An avalanche of bullshit.
Oh, gosh. I was thinking about...
Cascade is good.
What is this? What's this called?
A wiggle, a wave?
When you have the mountain roads, it goes like this.
Winding.
Winding. Oh, that's not a difficult
The
word.
long and winding conversation.
Tom Long has winding introduction of that he watched Tombstone.
I'll tell a long story.
Tombstone.
But I heard a really great...
I said Tombstone.
Tombstone, that's funny. I had a great week in Las Vegas, and I wrote like my first political joke in a very long time. And I did it, and it got a great laugh.
Really?
Yeah.
It's very hard to do a political joke nowadays. What
and I
is
told you,
it?
and you know, I've been avoiding that kind of thing. But it's great being in Las Vegas for big events because you can bet on anything. There's always like little side bets to big events, like the Super Bowl. You can bet on the coin toss.
Yes.
And what color Gatorade that the players are going to dump on the winning coach, and all these, you know, you can bet on everything in Las Vegas. So I was in Las Vegas for the presidential debate, and I put some bets down, and I lost $100. I bet that he was going to call her a bitch. I lost another $100. I bet that she was going to say, "Fuck you, honky." And then the long shot, I wish I would have bet on it, but I didn't. It was 5,000 to 1, was immigrants eating pets. And, you know, $1 would have won 5,000.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I got to, you know, stay away from politics and gambling or quit playing it safe with the bets. No.
That was a joke?
That was it.
I remember you saying, no, that wasn't the joke. Okay, I didn't get it. But you told me this joke. It was a little bit different, like weeks ago. It was about betting. Oh my God, what was it? Because I do remember the beginning, you saying, I bet that he would call her a bitch, and you lost. It was another thing that you bet and you lost. And then you won, not on the pets thing, something else, man.
I forget. I don't know.
That was funny, actually.
But,
oh my God.
Okay, I don't know. All right, well, it's just... Noted. And I saw something really funny on when you stay at when you're playing Brad Garrett's at the MGM, they put you at the Signature Towers.
Yes.
You remember that on the back?
Oh, I love that
The
hotel.
back of the property. And it's a really long walk back there.
Yeah.
And there's one point of it where it's this big this carpeted hallway, and it's this big downhill slope. Mm-hmm. And I was coming up the slope, and there was this 10-year-old boy pushing his grandmother in a wheelchair. And the boy is running as fast as he can. He's pushing his grandmother downhill.
Oh my God.
As fast as he can. And the boy had like the happiest look of joy on his face. And the grandmother had absolute sheer terror on her face. But here's the thing. The grandmother was holding her legs up and holding her dress up, and I saw her panties.
Oh.
So I think that's an important thing to remember in life. No matter how terrifying the ride gets, you should always remember to keep a cool breeze on your panties.
Okay. Is that a clean joke?
No.
No.
No, because it's an old woman's panties. But I really did see that. This grandmother looked absolutely terrified.
That's funny.
And it was really weird. She's holding her legs up and holding her dress up. I mean, it was crazy hot. It was like, when I drove there, it was 112 in the desert. And I got to Vegas, and it was like 103.
Wow.
All week.
Oh, that was that heat wave week.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was hot here too. But then it got super cold.
And now
I don't
it's
know.
chilly.
I'm wearing a sweater right now.
I'm wearing
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
That was our summer, Tom.
No.
How do you feel about that?
One of the best summers of my life.
We had 1 week of 113 degrees, and now it's 78.
I think this is just a cold spell that's being pushed down from the Pacific Northwest.
That's what the grandma would have said.
So I've been reading the book that you gave me, Burn book. by Kara
Burn Book.
Swisher.
Kara Swisher.
Burn Book. And it's all about Silicon Valley. She was a tech writer.
Yeah. Isn't she cool the way
She's
she
amazing.
writes?
Great writer.
Don't you think she's kind of like the Anthony Bourdain of reporters? She's badass.
I like her. She's got a good style. And it's cool, her perspective, all of these big tech giant people all started out wanting to save the world, and then they made a ton of money and got very bizarre and very right wing. But there was one story, I forget where, whatever tech company it was, I forget, but it was like the CEO's birthday. And it wanted everyone to dress like a baby.
Yeah, that was a weird story.
It was a baby-themed party, so you had to put on like some big diaper.
Yeah.
Or like a pink bow on your hair like a young girl. And like the woman was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yes.
And that was like an example of the weirdness.
Gosh, who was that?
And
I know exactly who it was.
Who was it?
Sergey Brin, the guy from Google.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't even got to the part about how they're controlling us mentally that you were telling me. The reason why I should
It's not that they're controlling us mentally. It's just that they don't really have that moral. They don't really see that whatever they do has consequences for the society. They have a circle of people who are complimenting them all the time, and you know, and oh, that's a great idea, Zuckerman, whatever, and they are not even aware of the negative consequences. Yeah, maybe one graph of unhappy teenage girls, but look what we do on the other hand. We're connecting the whole world, you know. So they don't really realize it. And then
Civil
the Facebook
War
guy,
in Rwanda or some.
Exactly.
Things like that.
They're underestimating it because they are so full of themselves, what they did, how big their companies are, because they're powerful companies, you know? So, and there is no way back for them. They just want to keep...
To morality? There's no way back?
No way back to say like, okay, yeah, they cannot justify and say, yeah, you know, my company is actually bad. Maybe I should stop this company. They're never going to do that. So they're always going to justify their company. Like, no, I know we have a little bit of bad stuff going on, but on the other hand, look how great we are on the other, you know, look what we are doing great. Right. So I feel like they're a little bit blind to the bad sides, you know?
Yeah.
Did you already read that the reporter in the Philippines, there was another reporter in the Philippines, and she won the Nobel Prize later on. She warned, what's his name?
Zuckerberg?
Yeah, what's his first name?
Mark
Zuckerberg and Facebook and Sheryl Sandberg. Hey, listen, there's this political shit going on because of these Facebook posts. There's something happening here, and please put a stop on this somehow. And they didn't listen. They thought they underestimated the effect it had on political systems.
Right.
And then it really went bad in Philippines, you know, and they just ignored it. They just washed their hands, you know.
Yeah, they don't take responsibility. I mean, look at the guy who tried to assassinate Trump yesterday.
Yeah.
The guy he's in the bushes on the golf course he had like all kinds of conflicting weird ideologies. And I think the guy who tried to kill Trump, what was that, a month ago, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania, he was a registered Republican, but he had some other conflicting shit that, like, you can't even pin down these people, like, what their ideology is. They're taking in so much garbage from the internet that, like, who knows what's pissing any of these people off and setting them off.
Exactly. But especially when you're fear-based or you're passionate, just if you care about something, it's, you know, it can happen to everyone. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like cowboy clothes. So the algorithm keep showing me commercials for cowboy clothes.
Oh my God.
I mean, like if you're into, you know, whack job shit, I'm sure the algorithm is like, you know, guns and political violence and
I remember the last time I was on Instagram. It was the time of the sourdough, and I watched one sourdough clip, and I watched another one, and now I always have this sourdough. You know, when you see it in the oven, when you see a bread being baked, it goes big, and it feels good on the eye. It feels nice, like wow, great creation. It's baking, but also when the dough is very wiggly. Is that the word, wiggly?
Yeah, I've never made
wiggle. Bread. Oh yeah,
jiggly or wiggly.
Jiggly, and then I saw so many jiggly dough passing by on Instagram. Yeah, you're right. It's the algorithm, and then you think everybody loves this. Everybody loves cowboy clothes, but it's not true.
That guy, at first when Trump was that attempted assassination in Pennsylvania, and then I thought, oh my God, it's a slam dunk. He's going to be president now.
Yeah, we talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, so I didn't think that was staged because the way he grabs his ear. But then now after this guy, they find this guy in the bushes. Is the Secret Service really that bad? Or are these things, I don't want to sound like, I live in Austin, Texas, and I'm full of fucking conspiracy theories, but
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say they're bad.
Who's allowing this shit, the people to get that close to Trump, that this can be, even a possibility?
I think it's possible.
Guys in the bushes for 12 hours? The Secret Service had, you got time that's their job is to...
But they're people. I mean, people make mistakes.
That. How do you in Pennsylvania, they leave the rooftop direct line of fire clear on the guy. And they go, oh yeah, we left that to local law enforcement. Oh yeah, that's not how...
Oh, is that what I said?
Yeah.
Weird.
And then now they're like, oh yeah, he didn't schedule that golf match until the last minute, so we didn't...
Oh, you talk about a golf one. Okay.
No. But the first one, they said on the line of fire on the roof, the Secret Service said, oh, we left that to the local law enforcement. Oh, why would you do that when your whole job is guarding a former president? And then now they leave this golf course 12 hours,
And is the Secret Service, is that the FBI?
No, they're their own branch. And they're those guys,
private owned?
Those guys in Rome that wear those Michelangelo designed costumes.
Yeah.
And their whole job is to guard the Pope.
Yeah.
That's their whole thing. They only exist to guard the Pope. The Secret Service
only exists because of
They might do a few other things, but their main thing is...
You should look it up.
Guarding the president.
Right.
So it's now, this seems a little fishy.
No, I don't believe in conspiracy theory.
I don't either, but it's
You always have to go with the simplest explanation. The most simple explanation is maybe their whole hierarchy is maybe it's not very greatly organized. Right? So somebody goes to lunch and maybe there's a hole there. Simple shit like that, because they're people.
12 hours?
Maybe 12 hours.
I mean, but to I don't know. It just seems like...
In hindsight, every error that has been made in human history that was huge, always people, in hindsight, it's always how could this go wrong?
Right.
Right. But happening in the real time... Totally. You can imagine going it wrong, before it happens. You totally can imagine that going it wrong. It's disorganization. It's Murphy's Law. Always Murphy's Law. If that three things happen and that's why, the big whatever happens.
Ashna Rojan, you're always the voice of reason.
You know how I know this? I did research in human error.
Yeah.
When I was
World War I started because Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated. And there was a parade, and someone tried to, I think, throw a bomb at the car, and then so the car took off the parade route, and the driver got lost, and he turned down a wrong road, and some guy had gone to the parade to kill him, and so he's got his gun on him, and he's walking home. He's like, well, I didn't get the chance. I didn't get to assassinate him like I wanted to. And then guess what? Here's the convertible with the guy, and it pulls onto the road right where he's at to turn around.
That's crazy.
That's how that happens. So, okay.
Yeah, it's like event on
but
event
12
on
hours?
event. What do you mean 12 hours, by the way?
The guy was in the bushes for 12 hours at the golf course yesterday.
I haven't read too much about the golf course.
Oh, yeah. The guy who tried to assassinate him yesterday was in the bushes at the golf course.
But what do you think? The guy is going to be in inside of the Secret Service? You know he's going to do his best to avoid being seen for 12 hours.
Where did he pee? Gross. Yeah, I don't know. It's just the history of the United States is balancing on a precipice right now.
Yeah. Ooh, precipice.
Good word.
Have you seen the series Chernobyl?
What is it called?
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
The great big, not great, I'm sorry. The big accident.
I remember that when I was a kid, that was a big deal.
Yeah, so things like that also. It's very clear how they show it in the series. It's this thing, on that thing, on that thing, on that thing, and then it happens. Usually it is with the big ones. Little ones have near misses. That's called near misses because then, for example, you go driving and you get in an accident. It's always like you didn't sleep well. Like there's different factors in play when there's an accident or the other person has different factors in play. It's always a lot of things stacked up.
Right.
You know, it's never just this. You know, it's never like two alert people. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, can we get some Secret Service agents that have slept well and know how to do their fucking job? Because
you could.
This country would come unglued if there was a political assassination right now.
Yeah, this is the first time that America got assassinations like in the last 20 years, right?
Well, I mean, I think, I think the third world violence has been brought to political violence has been brought to the States by a certain
group of people.
Oh, gotcha. Driven by a certain person.
Gotcha.
See, we can't even say his name in case he comes into power. So
you mean Voldemort?
I don't get dragged. There was some comedian in Spain who made jokes about Franco, the dictator, and they dragged him through the streets.
Yeah.
So people would know not to talk about Franco.
Yeah. Do you remember Voldemort or no?
Yeah, of course. Okay. The word you can have. Yeah, that's my Starbucks coffee name. Whenever they say name, I say Voldemort. And they go, It's always some nerdy kid who won't say it.
And then you would say, Tom. Yeah, Tom. Funny.
So another big piece of news that happened this past week is one of my favorite bands of all time completely fell apart.
No.
Jane's Addiction. Did you see that?
I don't know Jane's Addiction. I just thought it was a funny name.
I played Jane's Addiction for you a bunch. So apparently, like when they started, there was a prostitute named Jane. And she used to give them money to survive as a band, to help them out.
Oh, wow.
And so they had heroin issues, the band. But from what I remember, the name Jane's Addiction came, the prostitute Jane, her addiction was music.
Gotcha.
And then there's the song Jane Says, I'm going away to Spain when I get my money saved. And she's talking about her pimp, Sergio.
Nope.
You know, anyway, Jane Says, it's a big, still play it on the radio all the time. Anywho, Perry Farrell, see, his name means peripheral. He took it. He's being tricky.
That's kind of brilliant.
So Perry Farrell, who's a brilliant guy, has been wasted. And I'll talk about when I saw them at the Paradiso in Amsterdam 20 years ago in a minute. So they were in Boston and he was like really fucked up. And Dave Navarro, the guitarist, who's sober, Perry Farrell got pissed off at him and punched him on stage. And then the crew had to come on and hold Perry Farrell and then they canceled the show, and now they've canceled the rest of the tour. So I think maybe they should change their name to Jane's Intervention.
I thought you were going to say, well, now Perry is on the peripheral forever.
He might be. Ritual D-Lo Embarrassing. Their third album is called Ritual D-Lo Habitual.
Oh, gosh.
Ritual D-Lo Embarrassing.
Yeah.
But
didn't you tell a story about the other band with Jack Black? Also kind of same story.
What was that?
Yeah. This is the year of Tom's breaking
bands falling apart. Yeah, the guy Kyle, Jack Black's partner in Tenacious D, said the thing about it was after that first assassination attempt.
Yeah.
And then Jack Black got pissed off at him, rightly so. I mean,
So 2 bands now, huh?
I mean, jokes are jokes, but don't be wishing political violence on anybody.
So how do you feel about Jane's Addiction?
I loved that band. They really meant a lot to me in the 90s, just moving to California. But I saw them at the Paradiso.
In Amsterdam.
And that's like an old 15th century church, which is now like a concert venue in Amsterdam. It's one of my best tips for Amsterdam. If you're going there, check their schedule. There might be a band that you love playing there. And if not, the nights they don't have concerts, they have dance nights. Mm-hmm. And it's a great place. So Dave Navarro had a heroin problem. He's the guitar player. And he cleaned up. He got completely sober. And when I saw them 20 years ago, and I was still drinking, and I was right down front, Perry Farrell was he was on like some kind of heavy drugs and drunk. And he's sweating, but he was so wasted he couldn't even sing the words. He was just like, la, 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 he was just kind of humming and making noises instead of singing the lyrics. And I remember looking at Dave Navarro, who looks beautiful now.
Dave Navarro?
He's the guitar player.
I want to look him up.
Because he's sober and he's the guitar player. And I remember making that contrast in my mind about, just how amazing and like he was glowing. He looked so beautiful and in control and in the moment, present. And Perry Farrell was a mess. So it seemed like, and that was 20 years ago. It seemed like it was that's probably some shit they've been dealing with for a long time.
Over 20 years.
And I actually met Dave Navarro.
His name is so familiar. Is he an actor as well?
About 5 years ago.
Is he an actor as well?
No. He's just the guitar player.
Okay.
I met him at the Laugh Factory.
Cool.
And I got to talk to him.
Cool.
And so this was like 5-6 years ago after, I was sober at the time and just talking to him. I remember just looking him in the eyes, thinking how clear and present he was. And he was like, oh man, oh, thanks. I was like, yeah, I love, I even bought your solo record. Oh, wow, thanks. So it's interesting. The
contrast?
Just addiction. And it's really kind of embarrassing, especially when people get older. Like Perry Farrell's like in his 60s now.
Oh.
Well, he's probably like 62 or 65. And he's just like, I think wasted. Like when they started, it was like music should be like a ritual and it's a big, party celebration thing. But to be like that wasted and out of control just looks like some mean drunk at a bar.
Yeah, I get it.
Who wants to be that fucking guy?
I don't know who started it, but the old school thinking is, artists should be like drunk or chain smoking cigarettes, doing drugs all the time. There was the same thing with comedians back in the days.
Yeah.
It was expected that you were drunk.
I thought a comedian had to be the life of the party.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't have busted my head open in Philadelphia,
maybe
I wouldn't have woken up.
And it's true. I think for artists especially, you should not be intoxicated because
to deliver the best. Well, I always felt bad for the people of Amsterdam because so many times I saw bands and comedians come to Amsterdam and they get like blitzed out of their mind, stoned in the daytime. Oh, we're in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And then like their performances that night are pretty like mediocre because they're so stoned or wasted.
Yeah, well, that's the war on drugs thing in America. Is that your parents were so strict with you, and then your parents go on vacation and you eat all the cookies
or hit the liquor cabinet,
all the chips, or the liquor or whatever, and then you get nauseous, and you throw up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the news.
Jane addiction. Jane sobered up.
You remember the
wait, who punched who?
Perry Farrell punched Dave Navarro.
Okay, so I think let's sketch a scenario. I think they forgave him because he was so in the present.
No, they canceled the rest of the tour today.
Oh, it happened today?
He punched him like 3 days ago.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
And then they...
maybe he's going to go solo.
Yeah, but it just sounds like, obviously there's a big issue.
Maybe this is a good excuse just to retire.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, that's... you think how hard it is being a comedian and then being in a band. You got to split your money... all these different ways, and then traveling, and people. Yeah. This guy wants to party. This guy's sober. Mm-hmm. This guy's hitting on your girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Who knows what?
Yeah.
But the Pigs in Zen. That was a great song.
I don't know these people, so. Pigs in Zen. What is it? Another word? A word?
It's about
enigma.
Enigma. They're in. What'd you call me? So anyway, that was that.
Okay. Well, band splitting up.
Political violence. Grandmas lifting their skirt and getting a cool breeze on their panties.
Silicon Valley.
Betting
Overconfidence.
on presidential debates.
And bad weather.
Yeah. Are you happy the heat wave is over?
I actually like the heat. Yeah. I like the heat. There's only one moment in the day. It's between 4 to 6. That it's so hot that you get tired. But then, I go to the gym or whatever, air-conditioned space. But I love it. It's just like this blow-dryer weather, It's so
Or it just
nice.
feels like a hot blow-dryer.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. And I have good memories of it because the first time I went to Suriname, when the in the airplane when the door opens.
Oh, and all the heat, yeah.
And then you go into the heat and you cannot even imagine that something exists.
It's like a furnace.
It's like a furnace,
yeah.
And that's the weather. I just love it. It's just something so unfamiliar that I'm a curious person, so I love that. I love new things and crazy things.
I'll tell you, Las Vegas was a furnace while I was there. And I only went outside twice.
Yeah. But that's dangerous furnace.
It was dangerous.
Yeah.
And I went to a gas station. And it's amazing. You see homeless people. And I saw like a prostitute woman walking on like a side street, like in the middle of the day. Like
that's crazy.
This woman needs water and sunblock. And, she... I don't know how these people could be outside.
Yeah.
And I got gas and there was like this crazy homeless guy, like kind of intentionally scaring people who are trying to pump their gas. And I'm in my car with the air conditioning on and I'm like, where does this guy find the energy?
Yeah, you're right. It's
so
no
hot.
energy. Yeah, how could
whatever drugs that guy is on, they need to use in the Olympics because like this guy, like you can't move. Yeah. It's so hot.
Drugs, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm joking about the drugs, but I don't know. Like but homeless people and prostitutes, like it's inhumane to have these people outside, and it's
I believe so
112
too. Yeah.
degrees, you know?
Yeah, also in winter. Yeah.
If there's
totally.
a bookmobile, there could be an air conditioning mobile. Like, you know, here, man, come and have some water and eat a fucking half a sandwich or something, you know?
Oh gosh, maybe you gave somebody a really good startup idea.
Yeah, that'd be a
A
good...
mobile air conditioner.
Man, see what I could do so many good things if I had money?
Oh man, somebody give this person money.
The Tom Rhodes
Seed A, seed B.
mobile half a sandwich and cup of water mobile.
What'd you call it? Half a sandwich, a cup of
a sip and
half a sandwich with half like each like po' boys. I just always thought like this funny word. Po' boys.
Oh yeah, it's just P.O. Po' boys.
Po' boys.
Yeah.
And it's poor boys, right?
Yeah. But that's they call it po' boy. Because they're so poor, they don't get the extra 2 letters.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
No, I'm kidding.
No,
I don't know.
No.
I think it's just like slang and lingo and the way things are shortened.
Yeah, I love American lingo. I love the language like that.
Yeah.
Can you come up with more?
Oh. Laundromat, like barbecue, spelling it BBQ. Laundromat.
Laundromat. Oh, you know what? That word salmon. I don't understand why you
have an L.
What happened with the L, right?
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. Francisco Romas, this comedian from Venezuela he lives in LA. He used to do a joke about that because he was trying to learn English.
Oh yeah, we talked about this in the other episode.
English, a lot of English doesn't make sense. A lot of the other languages have, rules.
Oh come on! What do you think about British? All this the subway stops, and then it's like Winchester, winner or something like that.
Oh, Worcester, like yeah.
Worcester, like
yeah.
How is it?
Worcester, and it's like what?
Worcester sauce.
Yeah. And it's like Leicester, but they say Leicester.
Leicester. Like,
yeah.
Wait, what? Leicester or Leicester? I don't get it.
I don't get it. So I went to, I brought you those things, little trinkets from Rome.
Yes.
That I found in the closet. I went into my closet on my balcony to look for things, and I found my father's Purple Heart medal. I had a little box of my dad's stuff. And then this was in there. I used to wear this in the 90s.
Never seen
It's this little metal tin bracelet. And these were prisoner of war bracelets.
Oh, shit.
So in Vietnam, there were these people who were either missing.
Oh my God.
Or prisoners of war.
Am I holding somebody's?
No, and you wore it to remember the person.
Got it. I thought the person owned it. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No, this was like just to remember so these people weren't forgotten.
Oh,
and I remember this was such a big cause for me because my dad fought in Vietnam that I used to wear this in the 90s. And like, I've been to Vietnam like 3 times now. Mm-hmm. And if there's any American soldiers still there, they're probably, I don't think they're in prison. I think they're probably having a nice noodle soup somewhere. That's stupid.
I didn't get it.
No, and then also I found the Zippo lighters that I bought when I was over there. And the soldiers used to have these Zippos, and they'd have them engraved with their unit and the years they were there, and usually some little sentence on the back.
Oh, so you have one with
I have 2 of them, and then
engraved.
Yeah, and I bought them when I was in Vietnam the first time in 1994. Now, when I've gone back in recent years, you don't see them anymore. But like, the assumption is that maybe they were taken off of dead soldiers.
Oh.
But also, you could assume that maybe they just dropped them.
Well, if you own one, you want to assume that.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm guilt-free.
Yeah, you're guilt-free. I remember going to the thrift store in San Francisco, and I saw a original Navy SEAL shirt with a really thick...
Navy SEAL.
Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
shirt with a very thick blue material and the white flap.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you bought it. It was good.
I bought it and I looked gorgeous in it. I still have
so
it.
cute in that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then in the inside of it, it had the soldier's name.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Navy SEAL, the Navy.
Wow.
Person. How say Navy? The Navy's name? Navy SEALs.
The SEALs were this elite unit of the Navy. They do the underwater explosives. They can swim without breathing. And
I didn't know that. Oh, Navy SEALs is like higher
the Navy
up.
SEALs are like the elite badass branch.
What is the young person called? The entry level?
An ensign?
Okay, we call it matroos.
Okay.
Matroos. But it was like a matroos shirt because it was this entry level.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But it's really cute. It was the quintessential little Navy outfit.
Yeah.
Like dark navy blue with like a flap.
It was a real deal too. It's an original. Yeah.
No. I remember it. It was like really, really cool. That was a great find.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I want to give a shout out to our Patreon
Corey,
Golden Buddha Corey in St. Paul, Minnesota. Such a good guy, and Bobby, another Golden Buddha, lives in Minneapolis now, who's from Florida. When I was in Minneapolis a few months ago, and I got to spend time with these guys, and Bobby, I went to a baseball game with, and I had breakfast with him. And then Corey, I spent a day with him and his adorable 2 children. Mm-hmm. And we were going to I think we were going to go to a baseball game, see the Twins or something, and it rained that day.
Okay. So they canceled the show? No.
Not the show, no, but the baseball game.
Oh, yeah.
So Corey's like, well, what should we do? What do you feel like doing? And I said, well, let's go check out some thrift stores.
Nerd.
And I'm a total nerd. But where else are you going to find a cool Navy thing?
Ooh, touche.
So his kids had never been thrift store shopping before. And they're that age, I don't know, I think his daughter's 7, 8 years old. The boy's 10 or 11. And they lost their minds.
What do you mean?
They never knew of such a concept. One got a cool, the son got a really cool, old hat from the 1940s or something, like a fedora kind of hat.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, and I forget what the daughter got, maybe a cool jacket, maybe like an M&M's thing or something. I can't remember if it was but it was it's just a whole world of possibilities. And I was explaining to them how my mother used to take me to thrift stores, and the adventure of it and the fun of it is in the hunt. Mm-hmm. Because you can go to 10 and not find anything, and then on the 10th place or whatever, you find the coolest, most unique item.
Yeah.
That's what your Navy thing reminded me of. So that was really beautiful. And that's another nice thing that, the people who support my podcast they're beyond friends. We're almost family. I spend time with...
I think you are the only comedian that actually hangs out.
I don't think Joe Rogan and Mark Maron are hanging out with their people,
Yeah. I want to say about the thrift store is, you're right. It's such a different dimension, because I bought things at a thrift store, and those are the things I value more than new items for some reason.
Yeah.
Because it has a whole it has a different kind of a memory, because it has other people's memories in it as well. So you're also buying that, right?
Yeah, and also you were a smart hunter, and you found a gem among a lot of garbage.
Remember, I found that. What's it called when you hang it in a Christmas tree?
Ornament.
An ornament. I found an ornament of a little black girl.
Oh yeah.
A praying black girl.
It was a black angel.
A black angel?
Yeah, and she had wings and her hands are in prayer. Yeah, I remember that. It's really great.
And now I'm thinking, holy shit, you can't find that.
Yeah, I was in Vancouver. If you remember these wooden ornaments that I have, Christmas tree ornaments.
Yeah.
There's like a crescent moon. There's a star. They're like beautifully painted and they're wooden.
Yeah.
There's 4 of them. And they were like 25 Canadian cents each.
Jeez.
Which is less than...
Yeah, that black angel was 10 cents or whatever.
So, I mean, like, and I have them on my tree every year. I love them. They're beautiful ornaments. I got them for like 80 cents.
And it gives you more pleasure because you didn't buy it at the world market, Asian looking.
Yeah, some Walmart shit or 99 cent store plastic.
Yeah, no, I mean, world market sometimes has this look.
World market they have good ornaments.
They have great ornaments, yeah. But I feel like when you buy an ornament in a thrift store, it just has more special meaning.
Well, and it's funny too. Like, remember you bought a purse for like...
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. Thank you, Mr. Fashion.
Well, but it was a great purse. It was great quality. And
green, right?
Yeah, and it lasted. I think you still have it. It lasted forever.
I still have it. I think you just told me not to wear it.
No, I was because like you're the only woman I've ever known that only had one purse for 10 years
and a few pair of shoes.
Yeah, but Gen Z, the younger generation, are really into thrift stores and vintage stores now.
Yeah.
As a rejection of the fast fashion places like Zara and H&M that like pump out all this cheap stuff, and then a lot of it ends up in landfills.
Which is great because it really proves that you vote with your money.
That's the way you should conduct your life is
because now
vote with your money.
Yeah, because now all the big stores are changing their ways and promoting their sustainability.
Exactly. And then one of the reasons also is that like vintage clothes or thrift stores, a lot of old stuff was made better quality, better material, better craftsmanship.
Oh my God, that's such a good point.
So that's
You're right. Yeah.
That's why I wasn't bringing up the purse to tease you. I was bringing up the purse to compliment you that even though you did have one purse and you only paid $4 for it, it was a really good quality leather purse that I think you still have and it still exists. Like,
you made such a good point.
Apart.
You make such a good point.
It didn't fall apart after 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and this is with a lot of things, like houses. This house is from 1920. It has real expensive wood. It's made of real expensive wood, quality wood.
And so it's also survived a lot of earthquakes. Small and big.
Right.
So it was made of excellent quality.
Yeah. And if you go to a more modern building, they use different quality material.
Cheaper shit. You drive around LA and around central Los Angeles or where I live, around West Hollywood, those buildings all look like, this has thick walls.
Yeah.
But you see most of the buildings, apartment buildings and houses are like really flimsy, that's the word. Flimsy ass construction.
The same with cars,
Yeah.
The same with cars. The material in the cars are more, cost reducing.
Cheaper material.
Yeah, it's such a shame. Like Tom has this old school blender in his kitchen.
I've had it forever.
He has it forever, and it's kind of like it's almost yellow. When you know something was white.
The white rubber around the lid.
Yeah,
it's all yellow.
It's all yellow, yeah. And it's not dirty. It just the color is just changed during these
I've had
years.
it since I think I bought that when I lived in San Francisco. Like I've had that for at least 30 years.
Wow. So this is what I want to say. I have a Ninja one. I don't know what the brand is called. I just, I bought it at Marshall's once with a good price.
Yeah.
And it's a really good machine. It's good, right? It's quality. But I used yours, the old blender. And you could just smell the machine scent when I was blending it.
Yeah.
And it has like 10 different buttons of a different kind of blends, like liquefy.
Puree is one. That's
puree.
I would always hit puree for anything. That's an old school blender.
It's so
with
great.
10 buttons and one of them is puree.
And it has cool buttons, like old fashioned in the airplane.
Oh yeah,
buttons.
like the old house phones. It's that kind of where you push it,
Yeah, and here comes the best part. The whole thing is of thick glass.
Yeah.
It's like those old fashioned milkshake glasses.
Right? Yeah. So you're complimenting my old machine?
I am.
Well, I've always bought things of quality, and that toaster I've had for, I think, 30 years.
Oh, really?
And then my coffee bean grinder.
Yeah.
So the blender is like a Sunbeam. I forget who made the toaster.
Hamilton Beach?
Hamilton Beach.
Yeah.
And then the little, what's the German company?
Braun, yeah.
That does my little, and I've had that for 30. I mean, granted, all of these things were in storage for 15 of those 30 years, but still.
Isn't it great?
It's great.
Yeah.
By quality. Yeah, so.
Don't throw shit away.
What, any other big topics?
No. I mean,
I'm so happy.
We're just shooting the shit.
I like shooting the shit with you. You're one of the smartest, coolest people I know. I'm so happy to be home. I've been traveling way too much this year. I overly booked this year, and you stayed in my apartment when I was in Thailand and watered my plants, and you cleaned the floors. You're such a wonderful human being for doing that. And then you put my Christmas lights on the balcony, and it looks so great. And
Are you enjoying it?
And you said, I'm going to leave this for you to hang the way you want.
Yeah,
but it was nice.
I didn't want it to hurt your plans. Yeah.
So I did it this morning, and then half of the lights aren't working now.
Oh, that's fine, because those were really old lights.
Okay.
And I suspected that would happen. Okay. And I thought, I'm going to let Tom do that, because then you'll buy some new ones.
Okay, shit.
Yeah. No, those are old. You can buy new ones. It's $10 only.
But it took me so long to hang them, and that's what I'm saying. I was up on my little ladder, so I
do like this. Maybe it will work again.
Okay, I'll shake it,
wiggle
kick
it, shake it,
something like that. So.
Oh no.
But yeah, I'm happy to be home. Happy to spend time with you. Mm-hmm. Happy to see you, and
me too.
Hooray for humanity.
Hooray for humanity. How should we stop this podcast?
Just say goodbye and thank you to the wonderful people. And
thank you for listening to the podcast.
Yeah, and thank you for supporting the podcast. And we send you big hugs.
Go to the thrift store. Send us a photo of what you bought.
Yeah, send us a photo of what you bought. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Go to Patreon. I check Patreon,
Yeah.
Yeah, so... send a photo. I always buy old photos at the store.
Really? That's creepy.
It is kind of creepy, but I like it because I feel how can you throw that away? It's like a family who took a photo. They dressed up for the photo, and it's gonna be in the trash.
Well, you remember Natalie, my first adult love that I lived with in San Francisco, who was from Paris. Mm-hmm. Her mother, died, and her mother made Natalie promise her that none of their family photos would ever end up in a flea market or a garage sale.
Yeah, that's
because it's like, what happened? How do these photos get out of the hands of the families? How do they end up in these places?
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't want that either.
Yeah, it's like saving a puppy, Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's how you feel when you buy the photo.
I'm saving.
You're saving these people.
I'm savoring the memory.
You're doing what?
Savoring the memory.
Savoring the memory. Boy, you're using a lot of great English words today. Well, this has been enchanting.
It has been a delight.
Well, thank you for everything, and
you're welcome.
We will talk again soon.
We will.
Okay. And
I call you next week and I record it.
Yeah. Everyone take care of yourself wherever you're at. And
have a nice week.
Long may you run.
Keep smiling.
Go to a thrift store.
And sometimes pull your dress up.
Pull your dress up and let a cool breeze get on your panties. That's perfect. Hooray.